Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Here from beautiful Raider Gymnasium in Selma, Indiana. We have Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening as we welcome the Daleville Lady Broncos to Raider Gymnasium. 10-10 here on the season. Conference record of 3-2. Taking on your 13-2 Wapahani Lady Raiders, standing in at 5-0 on the season. Glad to have all you with us here, folks. I'm Brandon Morbilius. Alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy as we get ready to get things going here this evening with Raiders Live, the pregame edition presented by Jones Auto Body. Wapahani had a very busy week of volleyball last week. Had a 4-0 record on the week last week. It started out last Tuesday when we welcomed the Shenandoah Raiders to Wapahani. Won that one in straight sets. Then on Wednesday night, traveled to Madison Grant. Took down the Lady Argyles in straight sets. Then Thursday night, right back here at home for another conference game against Randolph Southern. Won that one in straight sets. And then this past Saturday, just a couple days ago, we welcomed the Southwood Lady Knights, and Wapahani was able to win that one also in straight sets. So a very nice start to the season here, 13-2, 5-0 in conference play. Big game here tonight. Obviously, Daleville is last 5-6 years, I would say at least, has really built their volleyball program up and has had a very, very nice program here. Very competitive, very good. And, they definitely have some missing pieces from last year's team, just like us as well. Both teams look a little bit different, you could say. But I'm sure the competition level will still be there. Highly competitive ball game, and hopefully we'll see a lot of success on behalf of Wapahani here this evening. But, as I mentioned, you come into tonight's game, and we've had a good start to the season here. We've had a couple losses there to one to Yorktown, one to Muncie Burris. You come into these conference games, and they're always so important because, first and foremost, you want to win your conference. When it comes down to it, that's one of the goals of the season. You want to win the conference, and so we've got off to a good start. We're hoping that trend continues here tonight against the Daleville team. Again, the record, right there at 500 at 10-10. They're not great, but they're not bad. So Wapahani has got to, watch the way they play. They play the game the right way, and I tell you what, the way we played against Southwood the other night, we've seen a lot of it then. Also against Randolph Southern on Thursday night, we started seeing more consistent, good play. We was able to, to have a great deal of serving aces. So we're continuing our great service pressure to where we're keeping the defense off balance. Our hitting has been great, keeping it between the lines. Like I said, the setting, the passing, everything we've been able to do very good. And then we're not hurting ourselves with little penalties, net violations, 2 hits, lifts, so on and so forth. We've kept those to a minimum, and that's why we've been able to be really so successful, to be quite honest with you, because the more times you shoot yourself in the foot, the harder it's going to be to win ball games, and especially against teams that are really, really good, like the Muncie Burris's or the Yorktowns or the Deltas or the Newcastles or, whoever it might be. It's going to be hard to win games, especially if you're continuously, hurting yourself with little penalties here and there. So we've done a really good job of that. We've got to continue to make sure we're doing that, though. You got to pay attention to detail, do the little things correctly, and then hopefully at the end of the day, you're able to get the job done, and hopefully some of the major things throughout the ball game take care of themselves. So we're definitely eager to see what happens here tonight. Another conference game. We've got another busy week this week. We got tonight's game, and then Wednesday we're at Monroe Central for another MEC conference game, and then I believe Thursday. We are also at home. I can't remember the opponent for that. But then Saturday they have the Wapahani, not the Wapahani Invitational, but the Muncie Central Invitational coming up Saturday, which that's always a very busy day. Tons of competition out there. So very busy. Redbeard just told me we got Alexandria on Thursday right here from Raider Gymnasium. So that will also be a highly competitive matchup. So a very busy week. You've got 3 games throughout the week and then possibly 3 to 4 games on the weekend. So these girls are definitely going to be tired at the end of the week, but it's good for them. It's good competition. That's what you want to see, and hopefully they just continue to build off of what they have and to get better and to progress. And, because you're going to have some tough competition coming up within the next week or so. We got the county tournament starting up next week, which I think that is a Thursday-Saturday deal. A lot of tough games coming up for Wapahani. It's going to be a good test for them tonight. Much of the same thing. You got to come out here and hit the ground running, get off to a great start, and just continuing what you've been doing, because obviously what we've been doing has been very good and it's working for us. So hopefully we can continue to do that here tonight. We have roughly about 2.5 minutes to go. Again, we do want to thank some of our sponsors here this evening. Our pregame sponsor, Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fannin, located at 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been servicing the community for over 30 years. So if you have any questions and need them to take a look at your vehicle, contact Jones Auto Body at 765-284-2593. Again, that is Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. Folks, we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. Again, this has been our Raiders Live pregame presented by Jones Auto Body. We got the national anthem and rosters coming up. And then, obviously, tonight's game, again, between the Daleville Lady Broncos and your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll be back with more live here on the WHS Network.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
All righty, welcome back here, folks. Try to get back on here as soon as we possibly could. Have to get all the PA announcing done, but nevertheless, we'll get right into things here with our rosters for both teams. First, we'll start off here with the visiting Daleville Lady Broncos coming in at 10-10 on the year, 3-2 in conference play. We'll start here with number 1, Emmy Isom, number 2, Mary Ingbrecht, number 3, Kinsey Smith, number 4, Sarah Sizemore, number 6, Addie Wilson, number 7, Ellie Halbert, number 8, Sky Yoder, number 11, Madison Williams, number 12, Abby Lee, number 13, Caden Swim, number 15, Maddie Diltz, number 16, Annabella Ray, and number 17, Audrey Voss. The Lady Broncos are coached by Rosie North. Now we'll take a look here at your Wapahani Lady Raiders. Number 4, Haven Gates. Number 5, Emily Stewart. Number 6, Stella Davis. Number 7, Sarah Orm. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 11, Emma Shuck. Number 12, Cameron Curry. Number 13, Maddie Webb. Number 15, Layla Lee. Number 16, Olivia Smith. Number 17, Cadence Brewer. And number 18, Kaylee Fender. And the Lady Raiders coached by Jared Richardson, assisted by Jenna Easton. And again, tonight's officials for tonight's game. On the up referee will be Inda Carey, and Vivian Malone is the down referee for the evening. So a great way to start things here. A ace to start off here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. We have seen a lot of that here of late. Our serving has been spot on, and that's really about how you got to have it about every single game. Got to start off on the right note here. Set back there in the back row there by Mallory Summers. Gates lays out for it. Summers will get that one to fall in the back row. Nice little setup from Estella Davis. Not too many times will you see Estella set the ball. But nevertheless, here a quick 2-0 lead for Wapahani early here in this one. And another real nice crowd here this evening. Great showing here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. Set to Davis. Dug out that time by number 4, Sizemore. That was Halbert on the attack, and that's going to be off of the hands of Sarah Orm, as it's now a 2-1 ball game. And number 13, Cadence Lynn will now come into the game here for the Lady Broncos. And number 16, Annabella Ray back to serve. Gates with the dig. Stewart with the set up to Summers. And that's going to be technically, I think, hit into the net, but nevertheless, here a 2-2 ball game. Summers digs it out. Stewart sets it to Davis and gets it in along the sidelines. 3-2 Wapahani, with Mallory Summers back to serve in this 1-point lead. Sizemore with a dig, sent that time to Ingbrecht. Orm digs it out. Summers back to Davis. So already a very strong start here this evening for Estella Davis. Got to continue to keep the pressure on the Broncos. Set again, this time to Halbert, and out of bounds. As the Raiders continue to expand that lead now to 3. Skipped over the top of the net, in there for an ace. That was drawn up nicely. Mishandled that time, another ace, as Ellie Halbert unable to get anything on that one. A timeout taken here by the Broncos, and we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, this will be our University Avenue Dental game break, with the Raiders up 7-2 early here in this one here this evening. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors here tonight. Again, B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation. They strive to aggressively represent all of their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, as well as criminal defense, which includes drunk driving, criminal record, as well as bankruptcy expungements and hardship licenses. For more information, you can visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. So as we come back out of the timeout here, again, the Raiders up 7-2. Gates there with the way out, and Stewart will get it back over. Here we go, set this time, and mishandled by Halbert. As again, the Raiders now with an 8-2 lead. And out of bounds. So now 8-3, Halbert back to serve for the Broncos. And then right back to us. It's a nice little point giveaway. So now Emma Shuck to serve. Dug out by Sizemore. Summers sets it to Orm. And that's going to be off the hands of Annabella Ray. And another one this time hit into the net. Now a 11-3 lead for Wapahani. Starting to get very lopsided early here in this one, and another ace. So the Broncos definitely not on their toes here. Got to be aware of what's going on here in the ballgame. Set this time to Lee. Summers will dig it out. Nice job there by Stewart with a very good reaction to that ball. There's Summers again. Gates with the setup to Stewart. And is able to get it off on it and get it down in play. So now a commanding 13-3 lead. Dug out by Ingbrecht. Said and barely got that one over there by Lynn. As Estella Davis just tipped it there to the back corner in no man's land, and will connect with a point there to make it 14-3. Set again to Lee. Gates will lay out for it. Stewart sets it. And Shuck will get it over. A little free ball action here for the Broncos. Ingbrecht there back on the attack. Set to Orm, tipped, and down in play. Couldn't really tell if it went in or out. But nevertheless, here now 14-4. Olivia Smith back in for the Raiders. And number 12, Abby Lee, back to serve. Gates to Summers to Stewart. And a net violation called on the Broncos. Going to be a point there either way for Wapahani. As we'll see Cadence Brewer now in here for the first time of the night for the Raiders. And here's Kaylee Fender seeing her first action this evening for your Wapahani Lady Raiders. She'll come in for Estella Davis, and Kaylee will be back to serve. Dug out there, set. And hit out of bounds by number 17, Audrey Voss. Got to keep the pressure on here if you're Wapahani. Another fine serve there by Fender, tipped and blocked by Sarah Orm. Little stuffing there from Sarah. Sizemore with a dig set up by Ray and hit into the net by Ellie Halbert. And this really very much a lopsided game, kind of surprising, as we will see number 3, Kenzie Smith, now acclimated into the Broncos lineup. Now we'll see Cameron Curry in here for Wapahani. It's in her first action tonight as well. Dug out there, set to Ingbrecht off the hands of Smith. So you start seeing some girls getting a little bit more playing time that maybe don't always get to. Got a sizable lead here. We'll see number 8, Sky Yoder, now back to serve. It's really good experience for all of these girls. Get them in the game, get them experience, they'll have a good time, and most importantly, get the win. Especially with a very busy week ahead. Definitely try to get as many subs in there as possible. And Ingbrecht will hit it out of... Okay, she hit it out of bounds, but a net violation called on Wapahani. So now back in here, we'll see number 7, Ellie Halbert. Mary Ingbrecht back to serve here for Daleville. There's Fender to Smith, over to Summers. Sizemore will dig it out. Halbert with a soft touch over the net. And tipped into the back corner and able to get it to go. Nicely done there by Mallory Summers. Well, again, very close along the sideline over there, but was able to sneak it in, as we'll see Emma Shuck back in for Olivia Smith, and Cameron Curry back to serve. Nice serve there from Curry. There's Fender keeping it going here, and Summers will free ball. Halbert tips it over. Oh, this is going to be set up beautifully. Summers on the attack, finding some open real estate. 21-6. Ingbrecht with a dig. Set that time and hit inbounds by number 17, Audrey Voss. In comes Abby Lee for Daleville. And Sarah Sizemore now back to serve, as again Wapahani is up 21-7 here in tonight's opening set. And another net violation on Wapahani. Not too many times, especially here of late, the last 3 or 4 games, we've done a much better job. That was a miscommunication, but a good miscommunication, as Wapahani watched that one sail out of bounds. Okay, so a little confusion on the court. Okay, so we'll have Cadence Brewer back to serve. And serve that one out of bounds there. We'll see Gates back in for the Raiders. And a substitution now for Daleville. Number 13, Cadence Lynn, is now back in there. Number 16, Annabella Ray to serve. Curry will dig it. Set to Summers. Nice layout there by Ray. And Gates will watch that one head out of bounds. 23-9, Summers back to serve. And now we'll see number 15, Layla Lee, in here for Kaylee Fender. So Layla getting her first action of the evening. A serve from Mallory, set and kept alive. Nice dig out there by Haven Gates. Stewart with the kill. And so already now at set point, 24-9. Ray with a setup. Halbert on the attack, and that's going to be hit under the net by Stewart. (24-10). Gates to Summers to Shuck. Handled by Ray. Now over to Ingbrecht. Tipped up in the air by Lee. Sizemore this time back to Ingbrecht, and that will again be another point for the Broncos. So hanging right in there, staying alive. 24-11, still set point here for Wapahani. Curry will dig it out. Set up there, nicely done by Mallory Summers. Great job of playing that off the net there. Couldn't get a whole lot better than that. Dug up by Curry, and that's going to sail out of bounds. Curry back to Summers, set to Shuck. Hitting that one backwards. Sizemore will stay with it. There's Ingbrecht, and it will be hit out of bounds. And that will be the end of set number one of the evening. Raiders lead it 1-0 here with this 25-12 first set victory. We will step aside for a break, folks. Again, we'll be back here with a second set live on the WHS network right after this commercial break. All right, welcome back here, folks. Again, Brandon Warvelius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Again, with Lady Raider Volleyball here, a great first set here for Wapahani. 25-12 first set victory. And we're hoping that they can carry that over here to set number two. We'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. Buying, selling, or investment properties, we get the job done. Call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. So greatly appreciate FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis. Also greatly appreciate the barn lot located at 2410 East County Road 300 South, just off of State Road 67 in Muncie, Indiana. Scott Quirk is the man to supply all of your outside needs. Got barns, sheds, garages, carports, gazebos, and playsets for the kids as well as more. For more information, call Scott Quirk at 765-744-7396 and visit his online website at www.thebarnlotsheds.com. So set number 2 now underway. Hope all of you have had a great day here so far, and hope all of you are having a nice evening joining us right here on the WHS Network. As that will be 2 hits called on Wapahani, as Daleville will get the scoring started there with a 1-0 lead. Again, as I mentioned earlier, a very busy week ahead. Really a very busy rest of the season, to be quite honest with you. Had 4 games last week, then another 3 games during the week here, and then the Muncie Central Invitational on Saturday, which that's usually at least 3 or 4 games right there. And then next week is County Week, so a very big week of volleyball again next week as well. And then a couple weeks from now, we will be heading down to Columbus East to play in the Columbus East Invitational, which that's always another highly competitive tournament. Really gets us ready to go and prepared for the state tournament, which then will be coming up in the about the middle part of October. So a lot to still go through here within these next at least 2 to 3 weeks of the regular season. As Sarah Orm collects her kill, one of I think already now 3 in the ball game this evening. But still, like I said, just still a lot of games for us to broadcast. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled right here on YouTube. Again, the new home of Raider Sports here on the WHS Network. That was 2 hits there on Daleville. Number 3, Kinsey Smith. So 5-1 margin of lead here for the Raiders in set number 2. Pretty nice kill there by Ellie Halbert of Daleville. Smith returns for Wapahani. And Halbert back to serve for Daleville. Sturt with a setup. Orm will get it back over. A little free ball for Daleville. That looked like a lift, and it will be. So now Sarah Orm to serve for the Raiders. Halbert will dig it out, set up there, and Sizemore hits that one into the net. Got to keep the momentum going here if you're Wapahani. Really, you're in a good situation here. Already up 1-0 at a commanding first set victory. You're already in the driver's seat here in set number 2 with a quick 8-2 lead. Got to keep the pressure on them. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them get any kind of momentum going, as that will again be another ace, this time for Sarah Orm. Dug out there by Halbert, set up. Tipped across. Here's Orm to Stewart. Davis. I'll tell you what, that almost looks like 2 hits again there by Smith. And Mallory Summers puts the exclamation point on that point there for Wapahani as they now lead at 10-2. And an ace once again for Sarah Orm. I mean, really, it's starting to be a free giveaway here for Wapahani. I think that's got to be pretty close to their 6th or 7th ace of the night so far. Nice tip over the net there by Mary Ingbrecht of Daleville. Able to sneak that one in just in front of the outstretched hand of Summers. Emily Stewart now in for the first time tonight for Wapahani. Smith digs it, set up by Stewart to Davis. And blocked, unfortunately, out of bounds. So important for Wapahani, again, with the lack of height, to be able to find a way to use their athleticism to their advantage and try their very best to get a hand in on every ball hit. Be able to get a tip, block, anything you can to make it just a little bit easier. And communication backfired for us there, as it's now 11-6 as Daleville going on a little run of their own here now. I think that is 4 consecutive that they've put together. Gates will dig it out, set to Summers, and in there. A big-time point there for Wapahani. Hopefully we can once again get the offense going here a little bit. We'll see Estella Davis back to serve. Cadence Brewer back in here for Wapahani. And that will be another ace. Handled there by Ingbrecht, set back to her and out of bounds. Tell you what, she had that back corner wide open back there. She could almost hit that nearly anywhere, and it would have been in there safely. And that one hit out of bounds off of Audrey Voss. Little jump serve here by Davis. Unfortunately, didn't work out too well for her there, but nothing wrong with changing it up here a little bit every now and again. 15-7 here. Kenzie Smith back to serve. Stewart with a dig. Stewart with a setup. The Stewart sisters over there to Brewer. Ingbrecht back on the attack. Smith keeping it going. Now to Summers. And Daleville will not get it back over. 4 hits called. Here's Emma Schuck, reinstalled into the Raider lineup. He got Allison Stewart to serve. Very good pressure right there. And no tip. No tip at all will be the call. Ball was set out of bounds, so 17-7. Another jump serve there, but a little too much mustard on that one. Ingbrecht there back to serve. Stewart to Summers. Triple to S with the kill. And it worked out beautifully. Sarah Orm in for Emily Stewart. Mallory Summers back to serve as the Raiders are up by 10, 18-8. Ingbrecht, nicely done there by Annabella Ray to set that off of the net. Pretty good job right there. Looks like we Thought for a second we might have a timeout, but instead we'll have a substitution. Number 13, Cadence Lynn, will come in for Daleville. And now we'll see Maddie Webb in for Emma Shuck. So Maddie receiving her first playing time of the night. Now that was a jump serve. All right, so not sure what happened, but Wapahani got the point. I don't know, there must have been a net violation. And usually I'm all over these calls. I know exactly what's going on at different times, but not so sure about that when Summers will pick up another ace. Halbert on the attack. Nice reaction there by Allison Stewart. Gates will get it back over. Ray over to Halbert again off of Haven Gates. Sarah Sizemore to serve for Daleville, down by 12. Raiders 4 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. Sarah Orm notches another kill. And in comes Estella Davis with Haven Gates back to serve. Let's see if we can just go ahead and rattle off these last 3 points of the set right here. Wow. Very, very close serve up on the net, but well placed. And Orm unable to get that one to get over the net. And here comes Layla Lee. In for Estella Davis. Annabella Ray to serve. So an ace this time for Ray. Set there to Orm and putting the hammer down. With some authority on that one now, 23-11, and Maddie Webb back to serve. Ingbrecht will dig it out, set right back to her. There's Gates to Stewart, back to Orm again. And Ingbrecht will hit that one into the net, and here we are at set point, 24-11. Sizemore digs at Smith. Will set it there to Lee, but hits it out of bounds. And the Raiders will take set number 2 this evening, folks. 25-12, 25-11. A 2-0 lead for your Wapahani Raiders. We'll go ahead and step aside once again here for a timeout. Again, Wapahani up 2-0. We'll be back here with set number 3 momentarily live here on the WHS Network. Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Payne in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. Welcome back here, folks. Again, as we are set to go with set number 3, Wapahani up 2-0 over the Daleville Broncos. Again, we greatly appreciate you having all of us with you here this evening. Brandon Morvillius alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. 25-12, 25-11 are the scores of the first 2 sets of the evening. I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here, folks. Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. Muncie Dragway is located along State Road 67, west of Albany, Indiana. For more information and upcoming events, please visit their website at www.munciedragway.com, and you can contact them at 765-789-8470. Again, that is Muncie Dragway. Family fun, an eighth mile at a time. Next up here, we got Tom Cherry Mufflers, located at 321 West 8th Street in Muncie, Indiana. Since 1946, Tom Cherry Mufflers has taken care of your exhaust, brakes, shocks, struts, and mufflers. Again, that is Tom Cherry Mufflers. No appointment needed. They'll hear you coming. So set number 3 underway. Wapahani up 2-0. A pretty solid game here for us overall. Again, we've seen a lot of other girls come in and play valuable time as well. And I think that is so key in not only to give, I guess more or less your main players that get a bulk of the playing time, majority of the time, not only to give them a rest, but to see what these other girls have as well and build their confidence. I think that is so important, because a lot of times, you might, you have girls that are on there that, that might not get a whole lot of playing time or no playing time at all at the varsity level. All they do is just sit there. Well, it's always nice, getting in there, feeling a part of the team, seeing a little time in there and doing your part and helping the team be successful. So far, we've seen a lot of that here tonight, and these girls are, fulfilling their roles. They know what's expected of them, and they're going out and doing a fantastic job. So it's really great to see that. Just hopefully we can continue the success that we've had so far, as we'll have a 2-hit violation called on Daleville. Just the main thing is you never want to push the relax button. You start getting complacent and being a little bit more chill about things, and that's when things start going south for you. That's not what we want to happen. Keep the momentum going. Keep applying the pressure to the opponent and win the ball game. Blocked there by Stewart, and the Raiders will now take a 3-2 lead. Curry again back there to serve. Skipped over the top of the net and an ace for Cameron. Nice hands there by Curry, but miscommunication by the rest of them. Just kind of all stood there and looked at one another. So back in comes Olivia Smith for Cameron Curry. We'll see Ellie Halbert back to serve for Daleville. Again, Wapahani with a 4-3 lead here in set number 3 of the evening. Orm on the attack and well-placed ball. She's had a real nice, strong game here for herself. You know, she's not really someone that I guess really attracts a lot of attention. You know, you always, you know, everybody always looking for that big-time heavy hitter, which, you know, she can bring that to the table as well, but she always silently really has a good game. And I guess that's somewhat of a good thing, to be quite honest with you. If you can fly under the radar and still be very good at the same time, that's great. And not only is it good for you, but it's great for the team. So good for Sarah and good for the Raiders. Gates with the dig. Stewart back over to Summers. Blocked, but Orm with the cat-like reflex is there and works out beautifully as the Raiders just set it over the net, down in play, to take a 7-3 lead. Sizemore shanks it to the right side, hits the referee, getting her in on the action here this evening. So another ace. I've lost track of how many aces we've had at this point. We've got to be somewhere pretty close to 12 of them by now, 10 to 12 at least. Gates digs it out. Oh, unfortunately went off the speaker. Guess the height of our gym played to our disadvantage that time around. So Kinsey Smith back to serve, or no, pardon me, that was number 12, Abby Lee. Apologize for that. We'll see Cadence Brewer back in here for Wapahani. Stella Davis back to serve. And Stella will not be back to serve. So Maddie Webb will now come into the ball game. So Maddie Webb will get the opportunity right here as the Raiders are up by 5. Halberts set that one up to Voss and hit out of bounds. Handled by Ingbrecht. And she'll hit that one into the net. So, again, Daleville has just had quite a few, you know, just different problems going on. You know, their hitting hasn't been there. Their passing hasn't been very consistent. You know, it's just, you know, every facet of the game, you know, things just haven't worked out too well for them. And, you know, you hate to see that, you know, as, you know, for anybody. You know, we don't want to see anybody just get dismantled. But at the end of the day, you're out here to win a ball game. And so I guess it is what it is. But nevertheless, a timeout taken here. Wapahani with a 12-4 lead. I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. The Liberty Prairie Alumni Association President Richard Morris. Liberty Prairie Alumni Association serves as the Wapahani Center and Selma High School alumni. Make sure to visit their online website at www.libertyprairiealumni.com to get information on any events and to purchase any Wapahani-related items on their web store. Also, to purchase engraved bricks for the alumni brick walkway out here in front of Wapahani High School, you can simply fill out a form, which is on the homepage of the alumni website. And for any other information or questions you may have, you can contact Richard Morris on Facebook. So greatly appreciate the Liberty Prairie Alumni Association. Also to University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS. Greg, along with the rest of his talented dentistry crew, look to solving your unrecognized dental needs with an invaluable patient experience, outstanding treatment, and at cutting-edge dentistry. University Avenue Dental is located at 800 West University Avenue in Muncie, Indiana, and their hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So the timeout's over with. Maddie Webb still back there to serve for the Raiders, and Wapahani up by 8. Make that 7 after a tip over the net, found the back corner. And in comes Kinsey Smith, and Smith will be back to serve for Daleville. Gates also now in for Webb. There's Orm. Stewart, Summers, yes. Pass, set, kill. In that order, worked out great. Here comes Cameron Curry for Olivia Smith. So we'll see Allison Stewart back to serve. Smith with the dig, set up and hit out of bounds by Voss, and they're going to call the Raiders with a net violation. Definitely made some more, errors that we haven't been making the last, like I said, about the last 3 or 4 games, we have been consistently playing very solid from a mechanical standpoint. Doing the right things, not making little errors that are going to cost us some easy points given to the other team. None of that stuff. We've really done a solid job. Haven't had a lot of them here this evening, but enough to definitely take a little bit of notice of it, as Fender will hit that one into the net. Seeing more action here this evening here for Kaylee. Number 17, Audrey Voss, back to serve for Daleville. Fender with the dig. Stewart will set it up to Orm. Dug out that time by Kinsey Smith. Here is Halbert. There's Fender again. Now to Gates. Curry on the attack. Off the blocker's hand and out of bounds, and the Raiders will take that point back to make it a 15-7 lead. In comes not Estella Davis. All right, so I guess we're going to have a timeout to make sure our lineup is correct. So we'll go ahead and take a timeout here with them. Raiders up 15-7, set number 3 of the evening.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks. Out of the timeout again. Wapahani with a 15-7 lead. And set number 3 again. If you are just now joining us, Raiders won the first 2 sets, 25-12, 25-11. And the Raiders were unfortunately hitting that one backwards. As we'll see Gates back in for the Raiders, and number 13, Cadence Lynn, in here for Daleville. A pretty good night of volleyball here for Wapahani. It's got to keep that going for 10 more points. Set over the net. Look at Cameron Curry getting up in the air. Yes, sir. Love seeing the versatility there and athleticism. So Curry back to serve. Ray with a set up. There's Gates with a quick hand. Set to Orm, tipped over the net. Nice hustle by Ray. And Halbert kept alive by Fender. Nicely done. Ray, now this time to Halbert again. Curry to lead to Orm. And it's going to be 2 hits. Yes, Wapahani gets the point. That was just a great point overall. Quick reactions by everybody. Was able to collect on the point. And hit out of bounds by Abby Lee. Floater served by Cameron. and hit out of bounds. Set to Halbert again, and off the blocker's hand, down in play. 19-9, Smith back in for Wapahani, and we'll see Ellie Halbert back to serve for the Broncos. Got to make sure to stay tuned in. Following tonight's game, we have the Liberty Perry Alumni Association post-game report. The Raiders Live edition coming up again following tonight's game. Emily Stewart now in here for Sarah Orm. Emily back to serve. And Stewart will sneak it in the corner. I mean, that's about as close as you're going to get it to be able to keep it in. Right on the line. So she comes back from a long ball with a short one there as Allison Stewart tried to tip it over the net to no prevail there. 21-10. Voss back in for Daleville, and now serving will be number 12, Abby Lee. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it up to Fender. There's Ingbrecht. Set again to Fender. Halbert digs it out that time. 2 hits on the Broncos. Back in comes Maddie Webb for Lee. Also Cadence Brewer in here for Wapahani. 3 more points to go. Quick hands by Smith. Brewer back on the attack. Ingbrecht dug out by Stewart, and a net violation called on Wapahani. That was unfortunate. That was a very nice dig there by Emily Stewart. Hard hit ball. Did a great job getting the hands up. Pretty good pass. Here we go. There's Olivia. Set to Brewer, and first kill of the night there for Cadence. Allison Stewart now back to serve for Wapahani. Nice serve there. Tipped over the net, and good hustle there by Maddie Webb. Couldn't get to it in time, but still love the hustle. Cameron Curry now back in here for Olivia Smith. And Mary Ingbrecht back to serve. And Webb shanks it backwards. That will be an ace for Ingbrecht. Webb with the dig. There's Curry. To Stewart, sets it over the net. Free ball action for the Broncos. And Emily Stewart won't get there in time, and now 23-14. Let's just make the necessary plays and finish the game out the right way. Served into the net, so that helps. Makes it 24-14, and here we are, game point. And Kaylee Fender back to serve for Wapahani. Great service pressure right there by Kaylee. Here we go. Stewart with a setup to Brewer. Now Ray over to Halbert. Fender. Stewart. Curry. Kept alive, and again, we'll free ball here. Got to use this one. Brewer on the attack, and in the net, called on the Raiders. There's Curry. Back to her again. Soft touch over the net. Ingbrecht will get it across. Here we go again. Set to Cameron and mishandled, and that will be the end of the ball game. Raiders take it in straight sets here tonight. 25-12, 25-11, 25-15. The Raiders now improved to 14-2 on the season, 6-0 in conference play. And they'll be back at it again Wednesday night as we travel to Monroe Central to take on the Lady Golden Bears. Folks, we'll step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with more on our Raiders Live postgame edition presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association right after the break. All righty, welcome back here, folks. You can see there on the scoreboard, your Wapahani Lady Raiders get the job done here this evening against the Daleville Lady Broncos, 25-12, 25-11, 25-15, a straight set victory to now improve to 14-2 on the season, 6-0 in conference play, and overall just a fantastic game tonight for Wapahani. Glad to have all you with us back here with the Raiders Live post game presented by the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. Wapahani got it going from the very beginning on all cylinders. Just a very good, solid game all the way around. Every facet of the game they did very well, and that's what you look to do every game. We've been doing a lot better job of that here of late, and hopefully we just continue with that same mindset of you got to play as good as possible and make the plays that are needed. And don't hurt yourself. A lot of times, you see a lot of that with different violations and things that goes on. It's a part of the game, but you want to limit that as much as possible. We've seen a little bit more of that here tonight. But you've seen some girls that's that got a little bit more playing time than what they usually do. Sure, there was some nervousness involved there a little bit. So that is what it is, but still good job by everybody. Everybody really did a nice job chipping in, did what they had to do, did their part, and it worked out great here for Wapahani as they got another conference victory to move to 6-0, which is extremely important to them and extremely important to all of us here. Want to make sure you do great in your conference schedule. So now you look towards Wednesday night's game against Monroe Central. Pretty good team over there with the Lady Golden Bears. So. It's not going to be some little cakewalk. We've got to get back after it tomorrow. I'm sure in practice they'll definitely work them pretty good there to make sure they're prepared for Wednesday night's game. And like I said, it's another busy week ahead. So it was good tonight to see a large part of our starters and players that play a large majority of the time get some rest tonight because, again, they have a lot of games this week, 3 games throughout the week, and then probably 3 or 4 more during the weekend. So it's nice to give them a little bit of rest. Want to wish Daleville the best of luck throughout the rest of their season. And, again, you look to build off of this win tonight and keep going from here, folks, if you're Wapahani. So, again, a special thanks to all of our sponsors this evening. Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle, DDS, as well as B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, the Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Tom Cherry Mufflers, the Barn Lot, and finally here last two, Liberty Prairie Alumni Association, and our good friends over at Harris Chapel Church, Pastor Jim Ballinger and his wife Janie. I greatly appreciate them as well. And we appreciate all you for taking time and spending it with us here on a Monday night here on the WHS Network. We appreciate all of you. And make sure we'll be back at it on Wednesday night. Not sure if we'll be live or not. I doubt if we are. But if we aren't, then we'll have updates, and we'll still be broadcasting the game, but we'll download the game then later on. But we'll have updates throughout the game on our Twitter page. Make sure to get on there, follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Again, it's all at the WHS Network. So pretty simple. So again, folks, thanks for watching us. Brandon Warvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. We'll see you back here Wednesday night with more Lady Raider volleyball. Have a great night, folks.